Welcome to the Oakland County Megacast. I'm Tyler Kieft, welcoming you to our live, local, 5 days a week look into all things Oakland County. Today, we'll be talking to scientists, local nonprofits, and more about topics interesting and important to people like you right here in Oakland County. Let's get into today's headlines, making news on our website, civiccentertv.com. On our local news page, our first story comes from Emma Stein at the Detroit Free Press as severe storms sparked power outages and flooding across the Great Lakes state. Michigan was hit by severe storms on Wednesday night. As a result, Metro Detroit is facing widespread flooding and power outages. Surprise, surprise, if you were, of course, paying attention a year ago. Freeways across the area are temporarily closed as of 9 p.m. on Wednesday night, southbound I-75 and at I-696, eastbound I-94 at 12 Mile Road and after I-696 and I-75 between 8 Mile and 12 Mile roads are all closed due to flooding, the Michigan State Police are reporting. It takes only 6 inches of water to stall a truck, MSP said in a tweet. So, of course, giving the warning again to if you see standing water in the roads, to avoid driving through that standing water. It's very, very possible that you could get stuck. Either there could be 6 inches or more of water there that could lead to you getting stuck, or of course, you could be in a situation where the concrete, where the road itself may have experienced some further difficulties as a result of the water seeping into cracks. And you don't know how far down that water goes. You could get stuck very easily. Consumers Energy reported 84,000 homes and businesses were without power across the state. Powerful winds, more than 60 miles per hour, blew across the state, the energy provider said in a news release. Quote, "We were prepared for the strong storms that hit our state and had crews in place to begin restoration as soon as it began, and it was safe to do so," said Guy Packard, Consumers Energy officer in charge of Wednesday's power restoration work. Packard continued on by saying, quote, "We appreciate the patience of our friends and neighbors, and we are committed to working around the clock to get the lights back on for everyone who counts on us as quickly as we can." DTE reported 27,369 customers without power, and it has 278 field crews out as of last night, even as the storm raged on through the night, according to its outage map. Consumers Energy has about 150 crews assessing damage and working to restore power in Genesee, Kalamazoo, Allegan, Berry, Jackson, and Calhoun counties. To remain safe, officials advise people to stay at least 25 feet away from downed power lines and to report any issues by calling 911. That full article with supporting materials from the Detroit Free Press's Emma Stein on our website, civiccentertv.com, on our local news page. We're also making headlines today from the Detroit News' Beth LeBlanc and Melissa Non-Burke. Detroit will have no Black congressional representation for the first time in 70 years. For the first time in 70 years, Detroit will not have a Black lawmaker representing itself in the U.S. Congress, an outcome many observers are blaming in part on the new redistricting lines that grouped sections of the majority Black cities with white suburbs. With 9 candidates on the ballot, the Black vote was divided and led to the election of Indian American State Representative Shri Tanadar of Detroit, who won with 28% of the vote. That's according to the unofficial results. And again, to explain what unofficial results mean, that is what's sent to clerk's offices and eventually to be certified at the state level. And it's not official until it has gone through those processes at the county level and then, of course, been certified at the state level. Then it becomes official results. But generally speaking, those unofficial results are about identical to the official results. Continuing on, as a result of Tuesday's primary, Democrats will have no Black candidates on the ballot for congressional seats in Michigan, but Republicans will have 2 Black men, John James and John Gibbs, on the ballot in the 10th District and 3rd Districts, respectively. The scarcity of Black candidates to making it through congressional primary challenges appears to have bled over to some extent to state legislative races as well. About 24 Black state House and Senate candidates won their primary contests, including 10 incumbent lawmakers. In 2 races, African-American candidates filled both the Republican and Democratic nominations. Depending on the outcomes of more than 20 general election races, the number of Black lawmakers in the legislature next session is likely to fall short of the current total, which stands at 20. The loss of Black legislative candidates becomes clearer in the Detroit area, where Michigan Senate's only black male lawmaker seeking re-election in Detroit, was knocked out in the primary, and the overall contingent of black Detroit-based senators declined from 4 to just 1. In the state house, the number of Detroit lawmakers went from 7 down to 6. One race with a black Detroit lawmaker that could help the city break even on Detroit-based lawmakers remained undecided on Wednesday. In the undecided 11th Michigan House District's Democratic Party, Veronica Pays of Harper Woods was leading Ricardo White of Detroit by 76 votes, with 99% of the votes counted according to unofficial results. House and Senate effect differs in this matter. One of the biggest upsets in the state Senate came after State Senator Marshall Bullock, a Democrat from Detroit, was drawn into the same district with Senator Mallory McMorrow, a Royal Oak Democrat, who received national attention recently after a floor speech criticizing her Republican opponent's quote-unquote groomer claims that then went viral across the nation and the world. McMorrow's rising star, accompanied by new voting boundaries that stretched into the district from Detroit into Oakland County, led to her 37 percentage point victory over the incumbent Bullock. Bullock was the last black Detroit man in the Senate seeking re-election. No other black Detroit men made it through Tuesday's Senate primaries. Still representing Detroit in the Senate are Detroit-based Senators Stephanie Chang and Sylvia Santana, who is also black. Other Detroit area seats will be represented by individuals living outside of the city, including representatives such as Senator Erica Geis, a Democrat from Taylor, who is African-American, and Senate hopeful and State Representative Mary Cavanaugh, a Democrat from Redford Township. The effects of redistricting on Detroit representation were muted in the House, where the number of Detroit area representatives went from 7 down to just 6. The House's new district lines included 5 Detroit area majority minority districts in which the black voting age population was above 50%. State Representatives Tyrone Carter, Karen Whitsitt, Helena Scott, Joe Tate, and Stephanie Young held on to their Detroit area seats in the 1st, 4th, 7th, 10th, and 10th districts, respectively. And newcomer Donovan McKinney of Detroit nabbed the Democratic nomination for the 14th State House District in the primary this Tuesday. The 6 Detroit primary winners make up half of the 12 House primaries that include candidates from the city of Detroit. Finally, making headlines on our website today at civiccentertv.com from our friends over at MLive and from author John Agar of this article. The driver in the Make-A-Wish bicyclist's vehicular manslaughter has denied hitting the cyclists and said that the crash scene, quote, almost looks real, according to police. Immediately after the crash, the driver accused of running over 5 Make-A-Wish bicyclists, killing 2 and critically injuring 3, denied hitting anything. Mandy Marie Ben, 42 of Ionia, is accused of driving under the influence of drugs in the crash on Saturday, July 30th, that killed Edward Erickson, a 48-year-old from Ann Arbor, and Michael Stalhaney, a 57-year-old from Bloomfield Hills. She was driving a 2019 Toyota RAV4 north in the 3700 block of Stage Road when she passed a UPS box truck and hit the cyclists riding single file in the southbound lane, according to police. Iona County Sheriff's Detective Chelsea Castle told a magistrate on Sunday that after the crash, Ben denied striking anything on the road. Ben also showed signs of intoxication, the detective said, and Ben was unsteady on her feet, could not follow directions, and failed roadside sobriety tests, according to a transcript of the arrest warrant hearing obtained by MLive and the Grand Rapids Press. Quote, while making initial contact, Mandy made an excited utterance stating, quote, that almost looks real, and close quote, while looking at the scene, according to Kessel. Later at the hospital, Ben allegedly said she had seen a boy in a yellow shirt by the road. She told police that she had stopped behind the stopped UPS truck before she went around it. One of the bicyclists was using a video recorder that showed Ben passing the truck without braking or taking any other action before hitting the cyclists, according to investigators. The recording stops just before impact with the bicyclists. Kusul said that the police found no evidence that Ben slowed or even braked before hitting the cyclists. After the crash, Ben's vehicle continued north before going off the right side of the road. Ben had quote, slowed and slurred speech and, quote, lack of balance, and closed quote, and could not follow police instructions. That's according to Kusul, who said that to the Iona County District Magistrate David Worth. Quote, for the one-leg stand, Mandy started the task early and would not remain in the starting position. She placed her foot down and would lose balance after a count of about 2. This occurred multiple times. She was unable to take a step without losing balance and falling over, and closed quote. A breath test showed Ben had not consumed alcohol. She was She told police she was prescribed Adderall and Suboxone when police recovered prescription bottles of benzodiazepine in her vehicle, according to police. Ben is charged with 2 counts of operating while intoxicated, causing death, 15-year felonies each. If convicted, she could be ordered to serve sentences consecutively. The detective said that the charges could follow related to other drivers who suffered, quote unquote, severe injuries, she said. Ben's attorney, Walter Downs, contends that she took legally prescribed medication and believes the tests would show she had, quote, therapeutic levels, end close quote, in her system. Ionia County Prosecutor Kyle Butler said Ben was arrested in 2017 for operating while visibly impaired and had a history of abusing controlled substances. Ben, who worked at the Amazon Fulfillment Center near Grand Rapids, was ordered to be held on $1 million bond by District Judge Raymond Vogt at her arraignment this week. The cyclists were riding in the 35th annual Wish a Mile bicycle tour. Riders cover 300 miles over the course of 3 days, raising funds for the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Michigan. The ride was halted, of course, after the tragedy and did not continue as a result. All of those headlines making news today on our website, civiccentertv.com, on our local news page, as well as up-to-date and accurate information on COVID-19 from the CDC, the MDHHS, and the Oakland County Health Division on the local level. We have a great program ahead on this Thursday edition of the Oakland County Megacast. Up next, I'll be joined by Oakland University biology grad and University of Michigan biologist Paul Kozlowski, followed by Paula Cast from the Believe in Miracles Foundation at the bottom of the hour. This is the Oakland County Megacast.
Let's whoop it up for these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there.
Let's whoop it up for these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Welcome back to the Oakland County Megacast, our live daily 1-hour show about all things Oakland County. I'm Tyler Kieft. Learn more about the program by visiting our website, civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find information on our entire network of stations, including My Michigan TV. Joining us now on the Oakland County Megacast is Oakland University biology graduate Paul Kozlowski, now working at the University of Michigan on some very interesting research. Paul, appreciate you joining us today.
Hey, Tyler. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So you are a recent graduate of Oakland University as a biology student. You have done an extensive amount of research while at Oakland University. That's, of course, led you into an upcoming position this fall at the University of Michigan. Let's talk about how you got into biology and really into the sciences altogether. Where did that love of science really start for you, Paul?
You know, Tyler, I would say that it's been pretty persistent throughout my life. A lot of my family members have gone through a number of illnesses when I was younger. You know, both of my parents are cancer survivors. And I would say that ultimately I was just really exposed to the disease process, and that piqued my interest, certainly. But I also became extremely interested in what comes after, right? So how do you adapt to your new life after having gone through these illnesses? Because I think they're transformative, really. I mean, you know, anatomically, they change us if you need to undergo any kind of surgery, also mentally, too. So I became extremely interested in that. And then I pursued a biology degree at Oakland. And I would say it's in my second year that I really started to get involved with research in the Villa-Diaz lab, with my mentor, Dr. Luis Villa-Diaz. And from there, it's just been a lot of fun. I learned a lot.
So what about the research element of the sciences and of STEM is so interesting, compelling to you? Because in my notes, I know that you were considering pursuing an MD program in the future, that you got into the sciences because of medical issues with many members of your family. So what is it about the research that sparks your interest so much? Is it discovering new things, or is it really learning more about the why behind certain concepts in biology and other sciences?
I definitely think it's a little bit of both. I would say more so the why. I really like the personal investigation, right? So one thing that I really admire about research is that once you get into, you know, kind of the niche topic that you're particularly interested in, you know, you're kind of on your own path at that point. There are other people that can guide you if they're familiar with your area of interest. But at the end of the day, it's your passion, your love, and you get to explore it to every extent that you want to, right? So I would say it's the personal motivation, the independence in that, that really just lets you learn about anything that you want.
Of all the things that you've worked on in the labs during your time at Oakland University as an undergraduate student, as you've been working in the labs and as you prepare to work in the lab and the professional level this fall at the University of Michigan, what has been some of the more compelling or more thought-provoking research that you've been involved in that's really sparked your interest and made you just dive all in with 100% interest?
Right. So I work in stem cell biology. So our lab focuses on understanding basic science about stem cells. That is to say how stem cells work, basically. Stem cells are really just cells that can self-divide into new stem cells and further differentiate into, if they're pluripotent, meaning many potencies, any cell of the body, theoretically speaking. So my field is extremely interesting in terms of developmental biology. And so I think, like a lot of the other fields of biology, we like to ask the question, where do we come from? Of course, in this case, it's a lot more personalized because we're asking the question, literally, where did I come from, right? Where did you come from? And how you developed, how the course of your life may have impacted your development. And so I would say that's what I like particularly about my field.
We're joined by Paul Kozlowski. He is an Oakland University biology graduate joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. He will be working this fall at the University of Michigan, continuing on with his research, working in their lab. And so working with stem cells has to be so interesting because it's something that even a decade ago, certainly 15 to 20 years ago, was something of a very controversial topic in its infancy of research. And we've learned over the years so many different things that can be done on the medical side using stem cells for regeneration, for repair of certain parts of the body or processes of the body. For you, with your stem cell research, what's something that you're hoping to either discover, accomplish, or learn more about as you continue to dive into the very complicated nature of this element of our bodies?
That's a great question. We've definitely made a lot of progress over the past decade. Although I do want to stress that stem cell biology itself is an extremely young field. First stem cell lab was started just in 1998. I mean, that's 2 years before I was born. So we're really in, I would say, the first, maybe you could say second generation of this kind of work. Where it's going to go in the next, 20, 40 years, for what my career will look like. To be honest, I'm not really sure. We may get to the point of being able to replicate organs at a basic level. I think that's certainly where the field is going right now. There was recently, it's been in the news lately, there's been a 3D printed ear. So I think it's feasible to say that we'll be able to recreate more simple tissues of the body, certainly. I specifically look into the differentiation of these stem cells into cardiac lineage, so into cells of the heart. And while it would certainly be very nice if we could recreate that in its entirety, at the moment I don't really see that happening in the near future. Of course, maybe that's a little pessimistic, but to be realistic, maybe in the next 20 to 30 years, you might start to see progress towards that goal, certainly. And I would definitely like to develop a career where I contribute to that.
For more information on work and research being done at Oakland University's biology labs and other scientific labs, you can visit oakland.edu as well as for information. There are many academic programs in STEM as well. Talking about that, Paul, as we get on the topic of STEM, for you, having gone through your education in biological sciences, having worked in the lab and studied extensively in the lab at Oakland University, for students that are coming up at the high school level, certainly, but even at younger ages, what's some advice or what's some guidance you can provide to them on what they need to prepare themselves for when they get into a college STEM environment and certainly into a research environment or a lab that maybe you didn't know and would have been helpful to have known when you were coming up into your college career?
That's a really great question, Tyler. I'll say that the only regret that I have about what I do is that I didn't start sooner. So when I was a freshman, I was really intimidated by the field, right? It was something very new to me. And my thought process was that the only way that I could actually break into this was that, I had to get into a program, something formal. And so my first year, I think I applied to like 3 programs. I didn't get into any of them. It wasn't until my second year I did get into a research program. Unfortunately, my sophomore year in college, was 2020. And of course, due to COVID, everything was canceled. It's kind of at that point that I got up and I just started to email professors. So professors that I was interested in working with, I would email them, I would read their work. I would really try to spark a conversation with them about what it is that they do. And I think that's a great way for any prospective undergraduate researcher to go about breaking into this field. Find a mentor that you'd be interested in working with, email them, find their contact information, and start a conversation. You'll find that I would say every single one of them is going to be receptive to your curiosities.
In your case, you talked about mentorship. In your case, it was Professor Villa Diaz's lab work that you worked alongside with them in doing that helped you to develop into the researchers you are now and to even prepare you for your upcoming job at the University of Michigan. Can you speak about that partnership, that mentorship that was provided to you by your professor, and how that's helped you to prepare for going into your professional work this fall at the University of Michigan?
So I think it's been absolutely vital. Dr. Villadiaz is extremely caring. He's a great mentor, and he's taught me everything that I know. And I really think that that's been critical to my ability to secure that position that I'm now entering into, because it really comes down to whether or not you develop the skills and the interest into a particular field. So having that attentiveness from your mentor is something that you definitely should be looking for, because that translates into the skills that you develop while you're doing your work. It translates into the knowledge and the confidence that you'll have in being able to execute research design and ultimately discover new things.
We're joined by Paula Kozlowski, an Oakland University biology graduate, a fourth-year presidential scholar, and honor student at Oakland University who will be working in the labs this fall at the University of Michigan as he begins his professional career and wraps up his college career. Paul, as you're approaching your research, and this can also be some insight and advice for younger science students, particularly those that are getting into the labs, how do you separate the very formulaic nature of science or of really any STEM field to then take that into the research you're doing, keep sort of an open mind as you're learning more about the concepts that you're studying, and maybe along the way you find some really compelling information? How do you keep that creativity in such a formulaic career field?
Well, I'll answer that in two ways. I think regardless of whether you're in STEM or not, you should keep an open mind about your knowledge, right? You may have experience in the field at this point if you're, let's say my age in your early 20s, but certainly there's a lot of room for you to grow. And I think, it's nothing but positive for you to make space for your future self to grow and to acknowledge the fact that, you don't know everything, but that doesn't mean you can't learn more, right? So keeping an open mind is something that I translate between my personal and professional life. I think that's just generally a good virtue to have. As for the creativity, I think the best way that you can keep that fire going is to find a research topic that you're really interested in and passionate about. And that's not something that you'll know right away. You might know generally about the kind of work that you want to do, but you're going to discover that as you practice new techniques in the lab. You'll find what you really love to do, what you love to work on. You'll find mostly, I think, by reading papers. Can you get through the, let's say, 20-page review article on your particular topic and maintain your interest all the way through, right? Maybe in some parts you won't be 100% interested, right, if they go on some other topic, but you should generally see what's gearing your focus. I think, to some extent, this is the way I like to think about it. You already know what you're interested in. You're just not conscious of it. And so you have to bring that out through your work.
Paul, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
We're going to take a break on the Oakland County Megacast. On the other side, how one Michigan organization is making dreams come true for sick children in our local area. This is the Oakland County Megacast.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. Let's whoop it up for these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu.
Welcome back to the Oakland County Megacast, our live daily 1-hour show about all things Oakland County. I'm Tyler Kieft. Learn more about the program by visiting civiccentertv.com and /Megacast, where you'll find information on our entire network of stations, including My Michigan TV. Joining us now on the Oakland County Megacast is Paula Cast of the Jenna Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation. Paula, appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
I appreciate having you on. So first off, tell us a little bit about your background and about the foundation.
Yeah, so my husband and I moved to Troy, 30-some years ago when we got married, and we have 3 children. My oldest son, Brett, is 28. I have a daughter, Nancy, who's 26, and then our youngest daughter, Jenna, she passed away from brain cancer in 2010. So she is the heart of our organization, and she's our inspiration, and the reason we got started. She's behind me.
So then give us some insight too on the services and the mission of the Jenna Believe in Miracles Foundation.
So we serve kids like Jenna who have had a reoccurrence and had an ongoing. So she battled her cancer for 8 years. And during that time, you know, my older kids would go to the hospital with us to clinic appointments, and my son brought a gift for one of the kids that was there and saw the joy that it brought him. So while Jenna was still with us, we started, you know, bringing gifts to kids. They also designed these Believe in Miracle bracelets that I'm wearing and sold them. And that's how they raised money to purchase a gift. So through that, someone contacted the local news station and did a story. And so we had grown and started doing a couple gifts and wishes a year until then Jenna had passed away, and we grew after that. We had a great amount of community support, and now we're granting up to 40 wishes a year for kids who've relapsed and have something ongoing. And we help kids up to age 21. So that gap for young adults that are between the ages of 18 and 21, that there just isn't as much out there for them as well. So yeah, our hope is to bring them some joy and an escape from their world of medical appointments.
So then how do these families or how do these individuals get in contact with the organization for these services? Are they referred to you, or are you going out and finding them?
They are referred to us. We get referrals from, about 16 hospitals across the state of Michigan. Primarily, our referrals are in the Metro Detroit area, like Wayne, Oakland, Macomb County, but social workers will send us a referral, and through, just through word of mouth, families have heard of us, whether it's social media so you can also apply online. There's a refer a child section on our website where you can refer a child. But, people have found us through other families and basically through social workers.
We're joined by Paula Cast, the executive director of the Jenna Believe in Miracles Foundation, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information can be found on the organization by going to their website. Just simply go to believeinmiracles.org. That's believeinmiracles.org for more information on the Jenna Believe in Miracles Foundation and how you can contribute to the organization as well. You have some events that are coming up that will be in support of the organization, helping to continue to further its mission and grant some of these wishes. Can you tell us about some of those upcoming events and how people can participate?
Yeah, so we have an event coming up on August 11th. It's our ice cream sale. It's our 14th annual. So we started, Jenna loves ice cream, and she wanted to do an ice cream sale back in 2009. So yeah, it's at Faith at Work bookstore. It'll be an outdoor event. And we're going to have Culver's ice cream there and Ray's ice cream and a lot of just fun activities. There'll be a spinning wheel you can spin to win. We'll have some prizes and raffles, and there'll be hot dogs and chips and lots of fun things. And we're also going to have one of our wish heroes is going to be joining us, Fredriana. Her wish was to write a book. So she'll be there signing her book, and that'll be a really fun day.
More information can be found on believeinmiracles.org, or you can visit sharedetroit.org, where the Jenna Believe in Miracles Foundation is one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. We're joined by the executive director of the foundation, Paula Cast, on the Michigan Megacast. So to grant these wishes, you mentioned earlier you're getting referred by social workers or others, or by people that just find the organization and learn about it through word of mouth to provide these services. But then there's the act of actually executing these wishes and providing these wishes to be granted to these individuals. What goes into making that happen?
So we meet with the family and we meet with the child and talk about what their top 3 favorite things are that they'd like to do. And then we get working on trying to make it happen. And there's a wide variety of things that kids wish for. We've done bedroom makeovers and trips to Disney. A lot of things like that. We do shopping sprees are a popular one, and electronics, but kids like to go in a limo for their shopping spree. And, so we just decide what the family would like, and then we work on it from there. We get the doctor's approval and things like that.
How much does cooperation and partnership in the local community come into play in granting these wishes?
Oh, it's a huge part of it. Just having the people that have participated in our events and people that have done their own fundraisers, just local sponsorships. We've had a great response from our community for sure. They have, we've had a lot of people that have donated their time at the events and for particular wishes. So we honestly couldn't do it without that. We're a smaller organization, and without the community's support, both their time and resources, but also their donations is really the only way it makes it possible.
We're joined by Paula Cast on the Michigan Megacast. You can find more information on her organization, which is the Jenna Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation, by visiting a couple of places. BelieveInMiracles.org is their direct website where you can find more info on upcoming events, ways you can participate, and of course, how you can get involved, of course, if your family is affected by these kinds of issues. Also, you can find more information on the foundation by visiting ShareDetroit.org. Go to there, find a nonprofit section, and simply search for the Jenna Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation, cast spelled with a K to begin the last name, K-A-S-T. So the Jenna Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation, where you'll find more information on the foundation, including contact information if you'd like to reach out to them, how you can volunteer for the organization, how you can participate in many of their events, and any other things that may be of need of the organization at this time, as well as over 300 other charities and nonprofits in the metropolitan Detroit area and throughout Michigan. ShareDetroit.org is the website for that. Again, the Jenna Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation's website is BelieveInMiracles.org. Paula, you had mentioned before that so many people that contribute to your organization are often helping out at events and helping out with granting these wishes. What sort of volunteer opportunities are available throughout the year if people would like to support the Jenna Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation with their time?
Yeah, you can volunteer at any of our events. We need volunteers for the ice cream sale that we have coming up in August. We have a 5K every year in June at Troy High School, and we always need a lot of volunteers for that. We have our annual dinner at the end of February every year. We also have a golf marathon that you can participate in. So that all can be found on our website as well. There's also, if someone, has talents that they want to provide and help in the day-to-day activities, we're always looking for help in the office as well.
We're joined by Paula Cast, the executive director of the Jenna Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. They are one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. You can learn more information in a couple of places. ShareDetroit.org, where you can learn about all 300 plus charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. And for direct info on the Jenna Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation, it is BelieveInMiracles.org. BelieveInMiracles.org. For more information, including how you can donate to the organization as well. BelieveInMiracles.org. And so, Jenna, Paula, as your family was considering how to best commemorate Jenna's memory, where did the idea for forming a foundation like this, that's doing this kind of work for other children that were in a similar situation to what Jenna was in, where did that really solidify as this is what we want to do to keep Jenna's memory alive?
Well, as I mentioned before, we had started while Jenna was still with us, and it was really great for her and for our family to be able to give back. And so I saw how much it encouraged her and all of us, along with the Wish Kids that we were supporting. And then once she had passed, it just became very clear, like to see how many people were supporting us and wanted to give back to kids like Jenna that were suffering. So it was kind of twofold. I feel like the community founded it in a lot of ways as well, because it just evolved that way. And then through that, I don't think I realized the need that was there as more and more referrals were coming, and just realizing how many more kids out there like Jenna there are that have been relapsing and have been battling for years. So it was quite an awareness for me to see how great the need is. And it's just taken from there.
We're joined by Paula Kieft, the executive director of the Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation on the Michigan Megacasts. And Paula, as you interact with these families and interact with these kids and grant these wishes, what is the reaction? What is the feedback that you're getting from these families about the ways that these initiatives your organization is putting forth are affecting them along this very tough journey, but also even after that journey?
Yeah, I think, and I actually saw it firsthand with Jenna. There's strength that comes from it. I think from the hope and the excitement of something fun that's coming up. So families have told, parents have told us countless times that the wish really began when they found out they were getting a wish and found out they were receiving, something, and they had something to look forward to. The wish child has choices. There's so much in their life that they don't have a choice about. And this is something they get to choose what they want to do. And it's really remarkable to see the different ideas that they come up with. But doctors have said as well that the difference it makes in a child and how it does really strengthen them and improve their condition in a lot of ways.
More information can be found on believeinmiracles.org, believeinmiracles.org, or on sharedetroit.org, where the Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation is one of over 300 charities and nonprofits across many different sectors here in Michigan that are supported on the Share Detroit platform. We're joined by Paula Kieft, the executive director of the Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation on the Michigan Megacast. Paula, just another minute or so with you today before we need to say goodbye. Anything else we haven't discussed yet about the Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation that would be important for our audience to know, or things we should keep in mind going forward in terms of how we can help your organization?
No, I think we covered everything. I just would like to thank Share Detroit for connecting us, and just thank the community for their support and for what they've done for so many of our wish families. We've supported over 400 families to date, and we couldn't have done it without all of their support. So thank you for having me, and thank you for Share Detroit.
BelieveInMiracles.org is the website. We appreciate it. Thanks, Paula.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you on, Paula. As always, you can find information on all 300 plus charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform by visiting sharedetroit.org, sharedetroit.org. And of course, if you're just tuning in, if you missed our talk with Paula about the Cast Believe in Miracles Foundation, or you've missed any of our interviews so far in the Oakland County Megacast, encourage you to go to our website, civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find all of our full episodes on each individual interview on demand. They're usually posted somewhere between mid to late afternoon each and every day. So you can find our programs on demand, watch them at your leisure, watch them as you so choose. If certain topics or subject matters are more of your interest, you can watch those interviews if you want to watch the full episode. But of course, not everybody has the time to sit down and watch the Megacast every day, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, 10 to 11 for the Oakland County Megacast, 11 to noon for the Michigan Megacast. You can watch that at your leisure by visiting civiccentertv.com and clicking and civiccentertv.com/megacast, or clicking on our on-demand link, where you'll have all of our videos from the Oakland County Megacast, from the Michigan Megacast, and other original programming from Civic Center TV, such as Greater West Bloomfield's news magazine and talk show, The Splash Live, which airs Monday through Friday, 9:30 until 10 a.m., just before us here on the Megacast family of TV, radio, and other media networks. Highly encourage you as well to go to our local news page and stay up to date on everything that's happening in Oakland County and throughout the Great Lakes State. Each and every day, we post articles from journalistic outlets all across the state with information on the COVID-19 front, on other issues making headlines all throughout Oakland County and across the great state of Michigan every day. And at the top of that page, we have links to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta, Georgia, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services located in Lansing, Michigan, and of course, locally, the Oakland County Health Division here in Oakland County for up-to-date resources on COVID-19. That includes how cases are spreading, how the case numbers are increasing or decreasing or stagnating in your local area. That might not be Oakland County. That could be anywhere in the state, including right here in Oakland County. Availability of vaccines, of booster shots, of other information you may need to know. Precautionary measures that local health officials are suggesting in your local area or in local or other local areas across the state of Michigan that you may be traveling to for business, for pleasure, for vacation, whatever the case may be. You want to have that information on COVID-19 because pandemic's not over. It's still going on. It's just different. than it's been in the past, but that information is still critical. So whether you're leaving the state and want to get more information on other states you may be visiting here in these United States of America, you can go to the CDC link on civiccentertv.com's local news page. If you're traveling in Michigan, want to learn more about what's going on with COVID-19 in the Upper Peninsula or in southwestern Michigan, mid-Michigan, wherever you're going to be, civiccentertv.com/local-news. And of course, here in Oakland County, get all the information you need to know from the Oakland County Health Division without having to navigate through Oakland County's website at oakgov.com. Just go to our website, civiccentertv.com, click on our local news link, click on the Oakland County link there. That'll take you directly to their COVID-19 specific webpage where you can get more information, get in contact with their nurse on call, both their email, their text line, and their call line, find information on getting vaccinated, on getting your booster shot, whatever you may need to know about COVID-19 right here in Oakland County. Those resources linked directly on our website, civiccentertv.com/local-news, or just click on the local news link at civiccentertv.com. Also want to point you out to another one of our partners at My Michigan TV, where they have a free app for your smartphone and your smart TV. So if you're not able to go to Civic Center TV in your local area, if you're not within the greater West Bloomfield area to pick up our flagship station, you can watch all of our Megacast programming live and on demand on mymitv.com. That's mymitv.com, as well as on their free apps for your smartphones and your smart TVs. Whether you want to watch us on the big screen or watch us on the go, Michigan is always in your pocket with the My Michigan TV app for free. mymitv.com, mymitv.com for more information. And if you want to learn more about all of our partnering TV, radio, and web outlets that join us every day for the Oakland County Megacast here in your local area, civiccentertv.com/megacast. We have links to every single one of their stations so that you can find more of their original programming and see what's going on in Waterford from the Media Network of Waterford, what is going on in Bloomfield Township and Bloomfield Hills with Birmingham Area Municipal Access. Find out more original programming, learn more about original programming from students here in Oakland County from places like the Biff at 88.1 FM, the Biff at Bloomfield Hills Schools. All that information is linked on our website, civiccentertv.com/megacast. Let's take a break. When we return on your radio homes for the program, 89.3 WBLD Orchard Lake and 88.1 WBFH Bloomfield Hills, as well as the remainder of our network, we'll kick off the Michigan Megacast with Paul Beachnau and see what's going on in Gaylord. This is coming up on the Michigan Megacast.
I'm feeling good.
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there.
Let's whoop it up for these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there.
Let's whoop it up for these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Welcome to the Michigan Megacast. I'm Tyler Kieft, welcoming you to our live 5 days a week look into all things Michigan. Today, we'll be talking to tourism experts, LGBTQ plus advocates, nonprofit leaders, and more about topics of interest and importance to Michiganders like you. Learn more on the program by visiting civiccentertv.com/megacast. You'll find information on our entire network of stations that include My Michigan TV. Joining us now on the Michigan Megacast from one of our favorite northern lower peninsula locations in Gaylord, Michigan, is Paul Beechnall. He is the executive director of the Gaylord Area Convention and Tourism Bureau. Paul, appreciate you being with us today.
Hey, good morning, Tyler. How are you doing today?
Doing all right. How are you, Paul?
Oh my gosh, it's a beautiful day in northern Michigan. I know that's going to sound scripted, but it is 75 and sunny, low humidity. Honestly, there's not a cloud in the sky. So just a beautiful Michigan day here today.
Yeah, nice change of pace after the stormy day we had on Wednesday of this week, to then come back from a hot and sunny day to go into a stormy night, and then nice cool but warm day for a Michigan summer in Gaylord. Paul, as we continue on through this Michigan summer, we're into the month of August. We're definitely in the dog days of summer, but there's still a lot going on all throughout the state of Michigan, including great opportunities for recreation and fun activities in Gaylord. What's some of the fun that's ongoing and coming up very soon in Gaylord?
Yeah, so we just got through our Gaylord Alpenfest, was just a couple of weeks ago. And we are getting close to having our sidewalk sales and our celebration of our city centennial on August the 13th. And then we've got the Old 27 car tour coming through on Saturday, August 7th. But in the meantime, Tyler, Gaylord is just our tagline is all outdoors for a reason. We have over 90 small lakes. We have numerous hiking and biking trails, 5 major river systems, including the Sturgeon River, which is the fastest flowing river in the lower peninsula. It's great for kayaking and for rafting and for taking a lazy tube down the river on those hot days. So our tourism product here is outdoor recreation.
GaylordMichigan.net for more information on all the things you can do all up in Gaylord in northern Michigan throughout the rest of the summer, in the fall, and all seasons here in the state of Michigan. GaylordMichigan.net is the website. And so, Paul, people may not be familiar with Gaylord as a destination here in Michigan. When people travel to Michigan or are traveling for tourism in the state of Michigan, they think of some of the key places being Detroit or Grand Rapids or Lansing. Places like Mackinac Island certainly come up as places people go and look to travel in the state of Michigan. What about Gaylord makes it such a great destination for people either in Michigan or outside of Michigan to explore all that the state has to offer, especially in the warmer months of the year?
Well, first, Tyler, we are our location located right smack dab in the center of northern Michigan, makes it really easy to get to. We are located along I-75 and M32 intersects the highway, and we've just got a great laid back vibe here. We're known as the Alpine Village of Michigan. Our downtown is quiet and quaint, and we have these beautiful flower baskets and benches and a lot of great new restaurants right downtown, which makes it really fun to walk around and enjoy our downtown. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're looking for outdoor activities and fun things to do, what we call soft adventures with the family and with the spouse, Gaylord's just a perfect location to do that. And something that we have here in our areas, a lot of Michiganders don't realize that we have one of the largest free-ranging elk herds east of the Mississippi River, located out in the Pigeon River Country State Forest, which is just an absolute gem. The Pigeon River Forest is managed unlike any state forest in Michigan. It's a great place to explore and hike and camp and look for berries and look for the elk that are roaming around the forest.
We're joined by Paul Beechnall, the executive director of the. We're joined by Paul Beechnall. He's the executive director of the Gaylord Area Convention and Tourism Bureau. Sorry, I want to make sure I got that right. The Gaylord Area Tourism Convention and Tourism Bureau joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information can be found on GaylordMichigan.net. GaylordMichigan.net for more information. One of the activities that people love to come to Michigan for in the summer and in the fall, even in the later parts of the spring, is golf. And there's so many great opportunities for golfing in Northern Michigan, in Gaylord. It's on your website. It's listed as a golf mecca right here in the state of Michigan. Just tell us about the golf community in Gaylord and all the different opportunities for courses and different landscapes, different levels of difficulty that golfers can experience if they come to Michigan and come to Gaylord to go golfing.
Well, we've been a golf marketing co-op, Tyler, for 35 years now, and we have some of the best golf courses in the Midwest and possibly the United States. We have 17 member courses at 9 properties, and our most famous probably is Treetops Resort, has 4 golf courses. They have 3 of the best designers literally in the United States with courses there. Rick Smith, Tom Fazio, Robert Trent Jones Sr. Have golf courses at Treetops. The Siegel Resort has a golf course called The Tribute, which was designed by ESPN analyst Gary Koch and Rick Robbins. Phenomenal track. But what you'll find up here is, unlike courses anywhere in the Midwest, when you're playing our golf courses, you're really enjoying that course. You're enjoying the outdoors. You're not going to find crossing fairways. You're not going to be next to a highway. You're really able to enjoy Northern Michigan at its finest. There's a great chance that you're going to see lots of wildlife. You're going to see turkeys. You're going to see deer. You're going to see just all kinds of great natural attributes at our courses. And Gaylord has the highest elevation of any city in the Lower Peninsula. So the viewscapes, when you tee off at some of the courses, the viewscapes are absolutely magnificent. You know, when you tee off on number 3 at the Tribute, you will see all of Northern Michigan. And when you tee off at hole number 1 on the Fazio at Treetops, you'll see all of Northern Michigan. So really a different experience. All of our courses are high quality championship 18-hole courses that are great for groups and couples, and just an amazing golf experience here.
17 courses, 297 holes, and almost 100,000 happy golfers. GaylordGolfMecca.com for more information on golfing opportunities in Gaylord here in Northern Michigan. GaylordGolfMecca.com, or go to GaylordMichigan.com for more information. Paul, in terms of activities, there's a lot to do. We've talked about a lot of things to do outdoors, but there's plenty for those that would like to stay indoors. Maybe it's during the colder months of the year. They're going there at a time when there's some inclement weather in the state of Michigan. Whatever the case may be of why you want to recreate indoors, what sort of indoor opportunities are there in Gaylord? I noticed that there's quite a variety in the city.
Yeah, there really is a variety on some of those rainy days. Of course, we have one of the finest independent sport shops in the state of Michigan. All of your viewers, I'm sure, have heard of Jay's Sporting Goods. And if you want to spend a couple of great hours enjoying outdoor activities and shopping for those activities, our Jay's Sporting Goods is just a phenomenal store for kayaks and paddle boards and hunting gear and fishing gear, and a lot of gift items. We've got still the Call of the Wild Museum, which has just been an iconic indoor wildlife museum for years and years. People maybe traveled to this area as children. Remember stopping by the Call of the Wild Museum. They have a great gift shop there, Tyler, in addition to the museum. We've got a great Harley Davidson shop here if you're into that. Northwoods Harleys is a great place if you want to look around. The Siegel County Historical Museum is located right downtown Gaylord. They're open on Saturdays and Wednesdays. And the Pigeon River State Forest, about 3 years ago, opened what they call the Discovery Center. So if you want to learn more about the Pigeon River Forest and the opportunities that are located, they've got an amazing interpretive museum out there that talks about the elkhood. It talks about the development of the forest, why it's managed differently. Is just a great way to spend an afternoon. So just a lot of things to do here related to the outdoors.
And continuing on that, we mentioned so many different things for people to do indoors, for people to do outdoors in terms of activities such as golf or events or things like that. It kind of makes this city, it kind of makes Gaylord seem like it's another metropolitan area. It's kind of a city area. It's big and active, but even on your website, and especially when you mention the landscapes around the golf courses, there are so many opportunities to explore the great outdoors of Michigan, especially at this time of the year. And as we go into the fall with the foliage in Gaylord as well, can you tell us a little bit about some of those hidden gems in Gaylord that people can experience when they really want to see what Michigan has to offer on the natural end?
Well, I'll tell you one of our hidden gems here. I was just there this morning with my golden retriever. Aspen Park, that is owned by the city of Gaylord, funded by a DNR grant, is one of the coolest little hidden gems, one of the coolest little parks, Tyler, in the state of Michigan. It's built on over 80 acres. They have nearly 2 miles of a paved pathway that weaves in and around basically an old growth forest. And then within Aspen Park, you've got some tennis courts, and then you've got a 10K single track. So if you're into mountain biking, we've got this 10K single track located within Aspen Park. That's really technical, that's really a challenging ride. And the beauty about Aspen Park is it's just located about a mile from downtown Gaylord. So you go on South 27, you get over to Aspen Park, and you just feel like you're in this beautiful little forest. And what even makes it more special is that it borders an elk herd. Our city of Gaylord maintains an elk herd of about 40 animals that include some cyca deer and also include some amazing bull elk that the city in Aspen Park borders an area where you can literally see the elk. You could be walking along and see the elk herd. You're 100% guaranteed that you're going to see the elk if you've never seen them. And it's just a magnificent animal. And our city maintains this elk herd, and we get people, 15, 20, 30 people over there looking at our elk herd. So just an amazing hidden gem here in our city. And I'll tell you another hidden gem. If you're into walking or bicycling on a modified bike, you can take the North Central Trail, Tyler, all the way from Gaylord to Mackinac City. It's 62 miles of a crushed limestone path that crosses the Sturgeon River, that goes past Wolverine, Indian River, Sheboygan. You can literally ride your bike all the way to the Mackinac Bridge. It's an amazing experience. You can do parts of it. You don't have to do the whole ride, but you can go up and back, or you can stage a bike. Some friends and I are going to ride up to Wolverine on Saturday morning, stage a vehicle up there. It's just an amazing little adventure on the North Central Trail. And we've got a brand new trailhead right here in Gaylord. It's just a really phenomenal experience. And you can take the trail south going down to Waters. That's about an 11-mile trek, and it goes right along Otsego Lake. For most of that trail, you will be able to see Otsego Lake. It's absolutely gorgeous and stunning.
Yeah, a lot of great locations in Gaylord to explore, a lot of different ways you can explore them as well. More information on all of that can be found on GaylordMichigan.net, GaylordMichigan.net for more information. That includes all the outdoor landscapes and places you can explore, lakes and rivers, fishing, trails, elk viewing, the fall and color tours, plenty to do outdoors in Gaylord this season, as well as you get into the fall around the times of the foliage, as well as other activities all throughout the city of Gaylord. We're joined by Paul Beachnau. He is joining us on the Michigan Megacast today. He is the executive director of the Gaylord Area Convention and Tourism Bureau. Again, GaylordMichigan.net for more information. Paul, another couple minutes with you before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else that we haven't talked about yet that would be interesting for people to keep in mind about Gaylord, or that they should be considering if they're looking for somewhere to travel and may want to consider Gaylord, Michigan?
Well, I'll tell you one thing we haven't talked about is we've got some new lodging facilities here in Gaylord that have opened in the past 4 years. We've got the Fairfield Inn. We've got a brand new Comfort Inn and Suites, a Holiday Inn Express, a Hilton True Hotel. And then if you're looking for that resort experience, Treetops Resort, probably one of the finest resorts in the state of Michigan, has done a number of renovations. They've got great activities, as well as the Otsego Resort, which for years has been a staple of northern Michigan. 2 golf courses, quaint, beautiful lodging facility, and a number of places like Beaver Creek has. If you want to rent a cabin with your family, it's located right on the golf course. Just a fantastic experience. And of course, the restaurant scene in Gaylord has changed dramatically, Tyler, over the last number of years. We've got some new restaurants located right downtown. Abby's Bistro, Marmalade, which was formerly Diana's Delights, the Alpine Tavern and Eatery, one of my favorites. As you can tell, I haven't missed a lot of meals lately here. And of course, Bentham's Northwood Inn, probably one of the nicest restaurants here in northern Michigan. You can also go to Mary Steinhaus if you're looking for amazing German food. So just a lot of lodging and dining options that you can find more information at our website, gaylordmichigan.net, that you mentioned quite a few times. So thank you very much for that.
We appreciate it. Paul, thanks for joining us today.
You bet.
GaylordMichigan.net for all the information you need to know on everything going on in Gaylord, all your tourism opportunities and opportunities for fun and events throughout the year in Gaylord, including snow events. There's plenty of outdoor activities to do during the snowier months of the year. Other activities that go year round, as well as special events coming up in the near future, including their farmers market happening all throughout the summer month. The Johannesburg Farm Fest happening in just a week or so here, and then their sidewalk sales as well that Paul mentioned earlier on. All of that information and more, GaylordMichigan.net. We're going to take a break on the Michigan Megacast. When we come back, we'll explore more about what is making the state of Michigan a welcoming place and such a fun place for people to live, travel, work, play, and more. This is the Michigan Megacast.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there.
Let's whoop it up for these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to the Michigan Megacast, our live daily 1-hour show about all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. Learn more about the program at civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find information on our entire network of stations, including My Michigan TV. Joining us now on the Megacast as hot debate continues to happen across the nation about the validity of trans youth and adults participating in sporting events in their identified gender category is the Executive Director of Stand With Trans, Roz Keith. Roz, appreciate you joining us again.
Good morning. Nice to see you again, Tyler.
Nice to see you as well. For those that have not joined us previously when we've had you on the program, can you tell us about Stand With Trans and what your organization does to support trans youth and adults throughout the state of Michigan?
I'd be happy to. Very simply, our mission is to empower and support transgender youth and their loved ones. And that means we are there for them to provide peer support, programming, education. Education is a big one for us. We really feel like the more people know, the better equipped they are to support their family members, support their friends, their community members. So we do a lot around education. We're actually just getting started on building out the resources to have a lifeline library on our website, which will be an aggregate of a number of resources in any topic imaginable related to trans folks, whether it's coming out socially, medically, how to come out, how to access care, how to get letters written, name change. It'll run the gamut. So we're pretty excited about that. That was just funded by the Hope Fund from the Community Foundation for Southeast Michigan.
And so, Roz, as you talk about education, there's so much debate lately about what education on gender identity, on sexuality, and more should be taught in schools. There's even been legislation proposed to severely restrict discussions on those topics, on that subject matter with kids in our schools. Michigan legislatures, this is from a Bridge, Michigan article, a great article on some trans issues here in the state of Michigan, particularly as it pertains to trans youth and adults playing in sports. But this is related to education. Michigan legislatures have introduced legislation that in some ways models legislation that's already been proposed in Florida, in particular the Parents' Rights in Education law that would prohibit any instruction related to sexual orientation, to gender identity, and similar topics for any child below the 4th grade age. And so from your perspective as the mother of someone who is trans, as someone that works in a trans organization that's helping so many people in this community navigate a very complicated and unfortunately very unfriendly world to them at this time. Why is that educational element, talking about gender identity, talking about these sorts of issues, sexual orientation, and more? Why is that important, even at a young age, to get those concepts out in the community to these children so they understand the world around them?
It's a great question. It's super important because just as schools talk about, like, have health curriculum and they talk about, um, biology, they talk about, once the kids get older, it's probably like middle school, 6th to 8th grade, they talk about puberty. And so this is all part of someone's health. And we know that there is more than one way to identify. There is more than one way to have an intimate relationship with a partner. And kids aren't too young to understand that some kids have two moms, some kids have two dads, every family looks different. And when kids are only taught, as they get older and they're taught in health class about reproduction, and they're only talking, and yes, there's one way to make a baby. You need a uterus and you need sperm, but that doesn't have to come from two partners necessarily. There are other ways to have a family. And so, or to bring a life into the world. And when kids are taught that there is only one way to be in an intimate relationship and they don't have those feelings, they start to feel shame. And when you impose shame on children, all kinds of outcomes are likely, from anxiety to depression, withdrawing from their communities, withdrawing from their friends, from their families, because they feel like being different is wrong. So, we could talk an hour just about on that question, but there are so many reasons why things should be taught in age appropriate languages, and in an age appropriate way. It's just like, if your 5-year-old comes to you and says, how are babies made, you're going to give them a response that would be appropriate of a 5-year-old. And that would be the same in a classroom.
Yeah, and you're teaching these concepts because they're part of the world that we live in, like any other thing that you're teaching in school. And of course, that's going to be at the discretion of educators to decide when it's appropriate to talk about certain elements of that subject matter versus others. And in this case, I want to give you, Roz, an opportunity to respond to some of the comments from one of our state legislators who co-sponsored this bill that was modeled off of the Parents' Rights and Education Law from Florida, and that is Representative Steve Cara of Three Rivers, a Republican who co-sponsored the bill. He said that teaching children about sexual orientation and gender identity, calling it terrible, and saying that it causes students, quote, awful confusion and perversion. Can you speak on that, and what is your reaction to hearing that kind of rhetoric from one of our political leaders?
Yeah. So it has this argument of perversion and that trans people are pedophiles, and conversation surrounding those topics has been going on for quite some time, and it's just simply not true. They are less likely to be the ones, harassing your child in a public restroom, for example. But again, it is important for children to get educated. We don't want them going to the internet, to porn sites, we have so much access at our fingertips because of Google. So a lot of that's going to happen anyway. But by talking about it in school, your kids are much more likely to come home and ask about it. And it's important for parents to be open and to be able to have those conversations, because again, if you shut them down, they're going to look elsewhere. And also parents feel like by talking about it, oh, well, maybe it means that my kids are going to be so curious if we talk about it that their behavior is going to be reckless and there's going to be unwanted outcomes. And it's really just the opposite. Kids do listen, and we can talk about things in a healthy way and understand, that there are different genders and there are different sexual orientations, and people have all different kinds of relationships, and our bodies develop a certain way because of hormones. I mean, they can understand all of that. So, to say it's a perversion, it's an uninformed comment, and it's not going to cause kids to go out and do things that perhaps they otherwise wouldn't do. It's going to let them know that they're okay. And that's what we want, right? We want to let kids know that whoever they are, it's okay. And it's okay to be different and to have, we all aren't made the same.
And just to editorialize a little bit, Representative Cara mentions that it will cause, quote, awful confusion and close quote, to paraphrase that sentence. I would argue that not teaching kids about gender identity, not teaching kids about the existence of a variety of different sexualities, a variety of different gender identities, about gender being more of a spectrum than being a binary male or female would cause more confusion, or even worse, cause more hate, as we've seen it continue to do over the course of time. And that's why, as you mentioned earlier, that education on these issues is so important, if nothing else, than to give people a baseline understanding of what others in their community are living through or are going through in their experiences, so we can create a more welcoming world. We're joined by Roz Keith, the executive director of Stand With Trans on the Michigan Megacast. More information can be found on standwithtrans.org. That's standwithtrans.org. Another debate throughout the U.S. has been on the participation of trans people within their gender playing sports, whether it be at the professional level, certainly at the youth level and high school level in the state of Michigan and in other places, with the arguments again being very ignorant, being that trans people, particularly trans women, have an advantage over the competition that is assigned their gender at birth and identifies with that assigned birth gender. Can you speak to that and some of the misnomers and the misinformation and the disinformation that's out there regarding the participation of trans athletes within their gender identity in these sports?
Yeah. A big problem stems from people believing that your gender is defined by your body parts, which we know is not true. So if you have certain parts, then you're a girl, versus certain parts, you're a boy. And that's how you're defined. And that's the team that you should play on. And that's how you should line up. If the teacher says all girls over here, all boys over here. But, that isn't working. And also those who want to shoot this down believe that even if someone says, well, I'm transgender and I'm female, that it doesn't matter what they say, but if their birth certificate says male, that they were assigned a boy, male at birth, then that's the team that they have to be on. And there are so many adjunct concerns in terms of boys saying that they're girls just to get the scholarships or just to be in the locker room with girls. It's so ridiculous in my mind. So to me, there are two issues right now. Is one, people should be allowed to participate if they're living as a particular gender and they say, I'm a girl, then we need to believe them. So if they're living that way and they're out socially that way, and this is how they're moving through the world, they should be able to play on the girls' team. Also, which is now a newer issue for discussion, is that by only having girls' teams and boys' teams, what happens to those athletes or those students who are non-binary? And if someone's non-binary, they don't identify as male or female. They're somewhere on the spectrum. They're not, they don't identify with their assigned sex at birth, but they also don't identify with the opposite sex at birth. So by saying, and I know in Ann Arbor right now, they're talking about, co-ed girls teams, and this is elementary school, co-ed boys teams. Well, what does that mean? Co-ed is co-ed, right? It's boys and girls together, but it still doesn't allow for non-binary identified kids. So it becomes very exclusionary. Sports are important. It's a great outlet. It's good for their mental health. It's healthy competition. There's so many good things about participating in sports for young people that we should not have to worry about all of these restrictions being imposed. So that's my 2 cents, but I think that this battle is going to go on for a while. If you look up Skylar Baylor, he was, the first trans man. He swam at Harvard. He was like Division I NCAA competitor, and he swam on the men's team. And he's a very outspoken trans influencer, and he's doing a lot of trainings. He's not, an outcast. He's not, there's nothing perverse about him swimming on the men's team. These are role models. These are role models for our kids, and we need to support that. So, I don't even know how else to respond to that. It really is heartbreaking when kids can't participate. And recently I was at a Pride event and talking with another organization that's providing leadership programs. And they said, well, we have a boys leadership program and we have a girls leadership program. And I said, well, where does that leave the non-binary kids who want to participate? So why don't you just call it a youth leadership program? Like, how different could the programs be? So these are some of the questions that are coming up on a daily basis for those in the community.
You think about topics like leadership and even athletics, they're not really topics that are gender specific or are biologically specific. If you really think about it, sports are about competition. You can have competition regardless of an athlete's gender. I've played against athletes of a variety of genders, male, female, non-binary, so on, in basketball, whether it's pickup games or competitively or in other sports. And, some of them I've been more competitive against, and others, frankly, they've kicked my ass. And it's all in good fun. It's all in good competition. That's what happens. So, maybe someday we will we'll end up in a world where we go based on the competition level, not based on things like gender. We're joined by Roz Keith from Stand With Trans, joining us on the Michigan Megacast. More information on standwithtrans.org. I want to give you a few minutes to also be able to talk about some of the resources and some of the upcoming events or other seminars and other resources that may be available to people in the trans community and the LGBTQ plus community or just in the general community to learn more about the trans community through your organization coming up, Roz.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. So Sunday the 14th, we have our annual family picnic. If you just go to standwithtrans.org, you can find all the information, sign up. It's family friendly, it's free. It will be in Royal Oak. So we love seeing people come out for that. It's just a great afternoon. We have some fun things planned. Also, that same weekend is Royal Oak Pride. So there'll be a lot going on. I think it's on Washington Street, but it's Friday evening and all day Saturday. So you just show up and have a good time. I know there will be a lot of vendors. There'll be food and activities, and we will be there. We'll be there with our booth, and we're hard to miss because we have a blue and pink Stand With Trans canopy. And then just on our website, if you're looking for a support group, we have tween, teen, parent and caregiver, and young adult groups. Most of them are virtual. We have a couple of in-person going on right now that we've brought back, but most are in person. We have people from all over coming to the groups. You just need to sign up to get the Zoom link because that's the only way we can keep it private. We don't ever post that publicly. The groups are always free to attend, and it's just a great way to get peer support. We also have, there's two new groups, one for parents of older trans folks. So if your kiddo came out at 25, you may not identify with those who are dealing with a tween or a teen. So I have been seeing a lot of signups for that group. And then also we have a young adult trans feminine identified group the first Wednesday of every month. And you can come to the group in person. It's also in Royal Oak, or log in virtually, and it's run by a trans woman who's a leader in the community. And it's just, it's an incredible opportunity for those who are looking for support.
More information, standwithtrans.org, where you can find info on events, programs, resources for families, for individuals, as well as information for ally parents. Also, we're joined by Roz Keith, Executive Director of Stand With Trans on the Michigan Megacast. Roz, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tyler.
Standwithtrans.org is their website, standwithtrans.org. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll speak with one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Shared Detroit platform. This is the Michigan Megacast.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there.
Let's whoop it up for these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Welcome back to the Michigan Megacast, our live daily 1-hour TV, radio, and streaming show all about everything Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. Learn more about the program on civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find information on our entire network of stations, including My Michigan TV. Joining us now on the Michigan Megacast is Michele Austin, founder and president of the Oakland County Foster Closet, one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Shared Detroit platform. Michele, appreciate you joining us today.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So first off, tell us about the Oakland County Foster Closet and what you do to support children in the local community there. Michele, can you hear us? Are you with
Yeah,
us, Michelle?
I think we froze there for a minute. Not sure what's happening, but
Okay,
we're
I'll
back.
ask you again. So first off, if you can just tell us about the history and the mission of the Oakland County Foster Clause and what you do to serve children in your local area.
Absolutely. So, as a previous foster parent for over 10 years, I actually started the foster closet in my home in 2013. And it was really out of necessity. Every single child that I received had very little to nothing. I actually had an infant that I brought home from the hospital in an outfit that I took to the hospital to bring her home. So it really became out of necessity. So in 2013, it started in my home and has grown so large that we are now in a 2,800 square foot building that we are exceeding the space in, but we are very, very happy with where we're going.
So what kind of services, resources, or programs are offered through your organization to help these children? Because so often they go into the foster system and they're in the foster system and they don't really have that sort of agency to say, hey, I need more of X, Y, and Z and have that be provided to them. So how does your organization help to bridge those gaps?
I completely agree with you. So for us, when a family comes to us, and the people that qualify for our services are either foster parents, adopted parents, low income, or at risk. So we really want to make sure that kids that are in need can get the help that they need. And when they come here, we provide them everything that is their basic essentials: books, school supplies, hygiene, clothing, toys, shoes, car seats, cribs, beds. I mean, we really try to take the financial burden that families are having and try to remove some of that so they can really focus on the more important thing, and that's really nurturing and growing their family.
We're joined by Michele Austin, founder and president of the Oakland County Foster Closet, one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. A couple places you can find them for more information: sharedetroit.org. Click on their Find a Nonprofit section and search for Oakland County Foster Closet, or by visiting their website, ocfostercloset.org, ocfostercloset.org. for more information. And in terms of the foster care system, and it varies place to place, county to county, in Oakland County, in your area of Michigan specifically, what do you wish that more people knew about the foster system and why resources such as this are so important to foster kids?
Well, the reality is there's a myth out there that people go into foster care for the money. The reality is there is no money there. It's an average of maybe $18 a day to take care of all the needs for that child. And most of them come with nothing. So a foster family, the hard part that they're doing is taking care of the trauma that that child has been through. So we need to be able to provide these resources. And when a family comes in, if they were to come in for a brand new placement, they're going to leave here with anywhere between $500 and $800 worth of value of stuff. We have everything that they need. We're trying so desperately to help bring our families back together and help our kids by providing these things so that the families can focus on the fundamentals of raising the kids and getting them through the trauma.
In terms of those necessities that you're providing, where are you getting those resources from to be able to provide so much of these resources to families, to these foster kids throughout your county?
So we are 100% donations, 100% volunteers. So the community is how we do what we do. And it's a team. There is no, I may have founded it in 2013, but this is not my foster club. This is the communities. This is the kids. So we need the community to band together and help us. Right now, we're doing our back to school drive for August 21st. We're hoping to help 250 kids. And the community is coming through and bringing us supplies. It's just, I can only help if the community helps me. And so far, they've rallied behind us to do that.
Michele Austin joins us on the Michigan Megacast, founder and president of the Oakland County Foster Closet. More information, ocfostercloset.org. That's ocfostercloset.org. At this time of the year, I'm sure it differs in the summer season versus in the winter season. What are some of those resources that people can donate if they're donating physical items to your organization that are really essential at this time of the year, at this point in foster kids' lives as they're approaching potentially even going back to school in the fall?
Absolutely. So for us, for the remainder of the year, our focus first is going to be the back to school event. So we still have items on our Sign Up Genius that need to be sponsored and taken care of so we can provide those for the kids. After that event, then we're going to go right into Christmas, which is an extremely exciting time. We have the children sponsored by people. So, for example, if a child submitted their information and somebody wanted to sponsor them, they would take it and they would be specifically looking for this child at this age with these toys. It's a lot of fun. They wrap them up. So there's some really big ways for people to help. They can help with the back to school event. They can help with our Christmas event. They can come and volunteer. And they can provide us some financial donations. Again, we're a nonprofit, but we run 100% on donations, and we need to pay the rent, and that is certainly a big deal.
More information can be found on ocfostercloset.org. That's ocfostercloset.org for more information, including how to donate, other ways to support the organization, to learn more about the organization and beyond. ocfostercloset.org. Michele, as the founder and the president of this organization, now you mentioned that you were a foster parent, and so that kind of was the inspiration behind this organization. But how did your experience as a foster parent and understanding what these kids are needing coming in, or at least in the case of the child that you were fostering, what they needed and how those resources weren't there in this sort of capacity, how did that then inspire you to create this organization and maintain this organization for as long as it's been running, to support those families and support those children?
Well, I will tell you that the inspiration happens every single day when a family comes in and they tell me they didn't know about me, or they couldn't do X, Y, and Z without us because they don't have the means to do so. So it is every single day that we are here that I get recharged to do what we're doing. It's evident for the families, for the kids that come in here. It's something that every single morning I'm grateful that I'm able to get up and come and do this. And, it's my life. I do it 7 days a week, and, I'm a volunteer. So it's very, very, very close to my heart.
Talking about volunteerism, what sort of volunteer opportunities are available with the Oakland County Foster Closet if people would like to help your organization out?
That's actually a really fun thing. So we can tailor to anybody's schedule because we're all volunteers and I have the keys. I can do any day, anytime. We do weekends, we do evenings. Some of my most favorite volunteer opportunities, I had a woman come in and she was celebrating her 60th birthday party, and she decided that she wanted to come and volunteer, and they brought mimosas and they brought breakfast items, and they went through and they volunteered. They hung up clothes, they sorted clothes, but they celebrated too. So that was fun. Or families that come in, I get that a lot, where a parent or parents will bring their children in to kind of let them know this is the other side of the world. And it's right here in our backyard. Kids that need help are right here, not across the world and in different countries.
We're joined by Michele Austin, founder and president of the Oakland County Foster Closet, one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. More information can be found on sharedetroit.org. Just click on their Find a Nonprofit section and search for Oakland County Foster Closet, where you can also learn more about other organizations throughout the state of Michigan as well. Over 300 organizations supported on this platform that include, of course, the Oakland County Foster Closet and other foster organizations as well throughout the state of Michigan. ShareDetroit.org. For more information directly from the Oakland County Foster Closet, you can visit ocfostercloset.org. ocfostercloset.org. Michele, another couple minutes with you before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else at this time that would be important for our audience to keep in consideration about your organization, about foster kids in the Oakland County area, or anything else we haven't discussed today?
Well, one thing that I would encourage people that are watching today is come and take a tour. It's one of the best things to do. You really get a hands-on feeling and understanding of what we need here, what we do here. And, if you're able to help us by either sponsoring some of our back to school supplies or making a financial contribution, we want to be here for as long as we can, because we are actually helping over 200 children a month here at our closet. So we definitely want to keep going, and we need the support in order to do that. So we're hoping that your viewers can help us with that.
Michele, appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
ocfostercloset.org is the website. It's ocfostercloset.org. For more information, they are one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. You can learn more information about Share Detroit by visiting sharedetroit.org. Go to their Find a Nonprofit section to learn about the Oakland County Foster Closet, other nonprofits as well related to foster care, related to adoption, whatever the case may be, other different sectors as well, whether it be food insecurity, housing. There's so many different charities and nonprofits throughout the Metro Detroit area that Share Detroit supports in a number of different subject areas. So no matter what area you may of these issues you may be passionate about, there's definitely an organization there on sharedetroit.org that you can find and support either through volunteerism, through individual items. And then maybe they have opportunities for employment or volunteer opportunities as well. And of course, financial donations. And to find more information on all of their websites, sharedetroit.org for all of that information. That is going to do it for this Thursday edition of the Oakland County and the Michigan Megacasts. Again, you can tune in to our programs each and every day, 150 minutes of news from our flagship Civic Center TV, beginning at 9:30 a.m. Monday through Friday with Erica Jones on the Splash Live. Then at 10 o'clock, it's the Oakland County Megacast until 11 a.m., where we then go into the Michigan Megacast from 11 to noon. You can find information on all of our programs at civiccentertv.com. For more info on the Megacast, go to civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find links to every one of our partnering TV, radio, and web outlets. Find all of our full episodes and each individual interview on demand as well. civiccentertv.com/megacast. You can also go to My Michigan TV's website at mymytv.com, our co-flagship for the Michigan Megacast, to find all of our Megacast segments there as well. Watch us live on their website at mymytv.com and on their free apps for your smartphones and your smart TVs. You can learn more information on where you can get all of those on app stores on a number of devices by visiting mymytv.com, mymytv.com. Bouncing back to our Civic Center TV website, our local news page is also a critical resource for you as we continue through the COVID-19 pandemic, and of course, keep up to date on other top stories in Oakland County and throughout the Great Lakes State, making headlines every day on our local news page, where we post articles from journalistic outlets across the state on the daily before our programs. And of course, as you click through to read those articles in full and their supporting links, if you have the means to do so, we highly encourage you to subscribe to these many different publications across the Great Lakes State and support journalism on the local level in your community and others throughout the state. That is it for this Thursday edition of the Oakland County and the Michigan Megacast. We'll return tomorrow with new episodes beginning at 10 a.m.